Hi everyone, and welcome to Tarot Cafe and all things woo woo. Thank you for subscribing and sharing and liking. I really appreciate your support. So today we're going to do a general reading for Taurus for February 2017. As you can see, I've already pulled the cards. I find that it's just easier for me, and I think it's not so much of a waste of time, but sometimes when I look at other sites, I feel like they're shuffling the cards a lot and maybe just not so interesting to watch. So I've already shuffled the cards and placed them out for the month of February for all you Tauruses. So I've got my 3 card spread here, which is the context for the month, the focus for the month, and the outcome for the month. And then I have a cloud cover card pulled here at the bottom of the deck. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I notice is that we pulled all major arcana, which is a bit unusual, not for the cloud cover, but for the context, focus, and outcome. And that just tells me that this month there's not much you can do in terms of changing how things are going to go. Things are going to be quite set in their ways this month, and you just have to go with it the best you can. So we start off with the Hierophant, number 5, and the number 5 is a lot about change and can be a bit of an unsettled energy. So there could be a lot of upheaval, a lot of change, a lot of options coming your way this month. Now, the Hierophant deals with lots of different things, actually. It could be dealing with school. So some of you may, the context for this month may be focusing on school and knowledge. It could also be weddings. This could be a month where some of you are actually getting married. And this is your blessings and sort of unions. So that's a possibility for some of you. Again, that's a general reading. So for those of you who it doesn't resonate with, well, don't worry, you're not getting married if you're not anywhere close to that. But it could, as I said, it could deal with school and really focusing on your studies, as well as working in groups. So again, that could be in the context of learning, or it could be in the context of working in groups. There's just a lot of structure with this card. So there are other other things it could be dealing with as well, sort of in terms of learning from the divine. So some of you may be feeling more connected to the divine this month, and you could be receiving information this month, February. So that that comes down to knowledge and learning again, just not in such a traditional way. So yeah, esoteric knowledge, and that's it's a different kind of education, but that could be happening for some of you as well. And then our focus for the month is the Magician, which is which is a really great card. I love the Magician card. It's a number 1. So the 1 is new beginnings, and with all the lessons from 1 to 9. But it's new beginnings, and here you have everything you need to create whatever it is that you want to create. So I don't know what it is you're creating. But the Magician, he's like the Heavenly Father. And, in this card, you can see you've got all the suits. So you've got mental clarity, you've got passion, creativity, earthly possessions, and everything that you need to create in this reality. And so it's all about creativity and action and willpower and putting all of that to work, and creating something in the material world. Now, I don't know what it is you could be creating. It could be a number of different things. But this month in particular, you know, the focus is going to be creating whatever it is that you want to create. Now, it could be for school. It could be something that has to do with your esoteric teachings. You know, you could be creating your own YouTube channel and offering your own services of some kind. You could be doing a number of different things. But what this card is telling me is that you have everything you need. It's a new beginning with the one, and it's about creation of matter. And you should really focus on being the creator of your own universe. And this is just a great card because it says you have everything you need to do that. It's almost like, you know, this card saying, you know, you're in groups and you're studying, and this card saying, you know, you maybe don't need to do too much of that. Just, you know, get down to business, start making it happen, move forward. You know, instead of just being in your head or in the books all the time. So that's kind of interesting. This is a very action-oriented card. You can, you know, create, and you have everything you need to do that. So that's really, that's a really great card. The moon card then, our outcome, is the moon, which is all about truth, I think. I mean, it's also about things that are hidden, but this is the outcome for the month of February. So I feel like there will be illumination at the end of the month. You know, there may have been some darkness. There could have been some things that, you know, you weren't clear about, whether it be in terms of what it was you were supposed to create, or what it was you were studying. You know, you didn't maybe quite know what to do with it. You didn't quite know what to do with your studies, or the esoteric information you were receiving, or that creative idea that you had. And I sort of feel with the moon card at the end of the month as your outcome, you know, you're going to actually figure out, you're going to, you know, find a path, and discover what it is you're going to do with this information, with this education, with this divine blessing that you have. I think that's really good. It could also mean for some of you, you know, just because this card's at the beginning, this is at the end, there could be some, you know, heightened psychic abilities. Here you might have been more in touch, you know, with the divine, and maybe here you're really noticing that you're connected and that you have more psychic awareness and ability at the end of the month. It's also, you know, the moon card's, you know, kind of an emotional card. There's quite a bit of water in it. It can indicate lots of emotion. So maybe not feeling emotionally stable. But I think you can kind of get a hold on it. You know, pay attention to your intuitions and your feelings this month, especially towards the end. And again, that sort of ties in with this psychic ability, this newfound psychic ability, or this connection to the divine. Really pay attention to your intuition and listen to it. Could also be, again, with a creative project or something that you're trying to create, whether it be within education or your career, that something hasn't quite taken yet. Excuse me, I just need to get a drink of water. Oh. And something hasn't quite taken yet. I mean, this is all about creating, and manifesting what it is you want to create. And maybe I just get this feeling that, it's a bit slow moving, it's not happening maybe as fast as you want it to. But it will come to light and come and be formed and be created. So I think it may not have taken yet, but have faith. I think it's going to happen. So just keep at it, keep manifesting, keep working hard, and I think that will happen for you by the end of the month. If not, I'm kind of getting into March maybe. If it doesn't happen at the end of February, maybe the beginning of March. So hang in there. And in terms of a relationship, just sort of it seems to be focused mostly on education and work right now. But in terms of relationship, if you, again, pay attention to your intuition. If you feel like something is off, then it probably is. So pay attention to those things and listen to your body, listen to your intuition, and be realistic about what could be going on in and around you in terms of a relationship, or maybe even with a friend. And I think I said this for another sign. I think this card came up for them as well. Listen to what the person isn't saying. And I think that's really important, because a lot of the time we pay attention, people chat, and they say a lot of stuff, and sometimes they're saying absolutely nothing. They're just, rambling on. Listen to what your friend or your partner, what he or she isn't saying. And I think that usually can shed quite a bit of light on what's really going on. What's sort of what I call the subtext, what's happening underneath, what's really, really going on. So pay attention to that, to the to what isn't being said, and hopefully you'll get some clarity at the end of the month. And then we have the cloud cover card. What do we have? We have the Three of Swords, which is the cloud cover card for the entire month of February. So the Three of, this is the Three of Swords. This is usually about old wounds and repeating patterns, things that we're not letting go of so easily. In a relationship, it can be about repeating patterns and not getting anywhere. It could also be a communication issue that you have with a partner or with somebody at work, or coming back to what we were just talking about, the Moon card, or a communication problem, i.e., what he or she isn't saying. And you could also be in a situation where you're in a relationship and you just don't know how to make it work anymore. You just don't, you sort of run out of options. So I think, it's a bit of a worrying card. I think the best you can do when we're trying to break out of patterns is to think differently. If we keep doing the same thing over and over again and we expect a different result, well, it's not really going to work. So try something different, think differently, act differently, try to do something different and see if you get a different reaction from your partner or your relationship with a person or your colleague or whoever this may be to you. See what can you do to change it? What can you do to move on? What can you do to break the pattern? Because a lot of times people like to place blame on other people. Oh, well, he did this or she did that, and, it's not my fault. Well, it takes two to tango, and we're all, really, we have to take part of it. Part of it has to be our own fault. So I think this month it would be good to take the higher ground and think about what you can do to move things forward or change things up. Again, listening to your intuition and seeing if there's something there that doesn't really resonate right with you. Pay attention to it, and instead, maybe you're the kind of person that's always really quiet, never says anything, never shakes anything up. Well, maybe if you act a little differently this time and actually say, hey, I'm thinking about this, or I have this feeling that maybe you did that, and maybe approach it, obviously in a kind way, but maybe it would be a different approach for you. Again, it's a general reading, so it could resonate with only a few of you, but I get the feeling that there's somebody that maybe is not talking up, that's not speaking up, and it's time for you to kind of bark at the moon, I think change the pattern. Stop doing what you're doing or what you have been doing. I kind of get the feeling this card, for me, indicates long time that you've been doing this. So change things up. Speak up and see what that does in terms of the dynamic that you're in. It may shift the dynamic, and it may make the other person feel a bit uncomfortable, but sometimes that was what we need to shake things up, to stir things up, and to get things to really move forward. So I think the worst thing you could do this month is just do nothing. I think you need to try to change it up a bit, bark at the moon, dare to be bold, listen to your intuition, speak up, and see where that takes you. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a advice card from my Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. And this this is this will be your advice card for Tauruses for the month of February 2017. Advice card for Taurians in a general reading for February 2017. Advice card for Tauruses, February 2017. Advice card for Tauruses, 2017, February 2017. Wow, okay. That took me a while. This is the one that definitely wanted to come out of the deck. Interesting. This is the number 15, honoring your energy. Let's see if I can see, it's a beautiful illustration. Honoring your energy. Okay, I will read that to you. It's number 15. We all have those days when we are declined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to walk ourselves, We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next day, which causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Your body has rhythms, just as everything else on this earth does. Flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow. The sun and moon rise and set. Animals hibernate, and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inherent cycles within you. Rest when you need to, work when you need to. Do not try to outthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your own hardest critic. Well, I think that really ties in with this moon card, talking about the cycles of things. I think, this month we talked a lot about paying attention to your intuition, listening to your feelings, listening to yourself. And I think this is the advice card here is saying, yes, you need to do that. You need to really listen to the rhythm of your body. And if you need to rest, rest. If you need to go, go. But it's about paying attention and not trying to overdo anything or do something because you think that's what you're supposed to do. I think we're so conditioned in this, in life in general. We're conditioned by society, our parents, our teachers, to be productive constantly, to produce, to whether it be to produce things for school, for our career. It's all about productivity. And how can we, any of us, be productive if we're just exhausted all the time? So I think it would be wise to really listen to your body this month. Pay attention to when you need to rest, and get in touch with the cycles of life, your personal cycle, your body cycle, and really listen to what your body needs this month. I'm a person, I used to be extremely busy all the time, and a lot like what the oracle card says. I felt guilty when I didn't do anything. And now I'm a firm firm believer in power naps. I power nap like there's no tomorrow. I listen to my body, and if at 2:10 in the afternoon my body's feeling really tired, then I will literally go and find myself a sofa, and I'll lie down and I'll power nap for 15 minutes, and then I swear I feel fantastic after. I get up and I can be pretty productive for the rest of the day. That took me a long time to really bring into my cycle, my world. And it's not easy, because we have been conditioned to be so productive all the time and go. And it's just not good. I think stress is a big issue. I mean, this card here, could be talking a little bit about that too. Maybe it's a pattern that you have of go, do, and you need to maybe just stop and listen to what your body's asking you for. So anyway, Taurus, I think this is going to be a great month for you. Just pay attention to your feelings and your intuition, and I think it'll be great. So looking forward to seeing you again next month. In the meantime, all the best.